Hello and welcome to episode 6 of 6 of the Barre Class. My name is Ian.
I'm Lauren.
This is Bars and Bells, and at this Barre Class, we will be pressing our push-ups and PAing those legs. Mobility for the low body, full body strength. Let's stay tuned to Lauren's glam rock foot warm-up, and then more plies and mobility exercises on the bar with me.
All right, it starts at the feet, and then we'll get to the floor and warm up those wrists for our push-ups. Let's first start with our feet nice and rooted underneath, gripping the floor, toes spread out, butt cheeks squeezed, kneecaps slightly pulled up, engaging those quads, rib cage over top of hips with a light ab brace. Keep that and gently push down into the floor to find a first balance up on those tiptoes. And then let's descend just as slowly as we rose, so those heels come down. Once the heels land, let's gently bend the knees, sending the knees towards over the toes. We're trying right now to keep our shoulders stacked over top of our hips, and we'll extend our hips forward to stand back up tall. Let's find that light balance rise again. And this time, we'll bend one knee, we'll keep one leg straight and land on a single heel. And then we'll press up to 2 and come down to 1. And this next time we'll press up again and come down to 1. And on that 1 that's bent, we're going to use our toes to point. Gently flex and round over. The pelvis or the hips stayed stationary as we roll back through the foot. We go double up and we'll switch down to the other side. Little pointy point. Flex round over those toes, bend them the opposite way, roll back, up, and we'll come down to that single leg again. This time we'll bend the leg that was just straight, knee towards over toe. Hip extends back up, double up, down on the other side, heel lands. Knee bends towards over toe, relaxing that front of ankle as we work on that mobility, and we'll go double up. Then on this one, let's slowly start bending the knees. And then once you're down a little bit, find the heels, push the hips through to tall. We'll continue all the way to the floor to next warm up those wrists. So with our knees bent towards over our toes, let's peel our heels up, hold, then sink a little bit lower, hold. Then sink a little bit lower, hold.
Or go quick.
Then sink a little bit lower, or don't listen, go quick. Soft landing on the knees, hips extend through. Pause right here. Let's practice hip extension with our rib cage down. This is the same position we'll do our push-ups out of. Our hips are extended, our butt cheeks are squeezed, our abs are lightly braced, and then gently relax. We'll land softly on our hands through our fingertips, callus line, and then full palms come to the floor. With our shoulders lightly pulled out of our ears and our elbow pits rotated forward, let's just feel that push-up grip on the floor. All of your fingers are heavy. You're gripping. You're feeling that weight distribution. Maybe we shift a little side to side. We shift a little forward back. We test it out, and then we'll press through the palms and flick the floor away with those fingers, shaking it out. Let's practice our hip extension one more time and then work on our plank, which is a prerequisite for our push-ups. So in that hip extension, again, hips are forward, but then where is your cage? Does it need to come down a little bit? Could you lightly punch yourself in the stomach and the butt and keep the hips extended for 3, 2, and then we'll relax. We'll place the hands on the floor. Let's get into our push-up top position. Hold it as if we're holding that plank. So your hands might be slightly wider than they are in your plank, but we're up in our push-up. Let's hold. Think about pulling your shoulders out of your ears, squeezing your butt cheeks, bracing your abs. Whether you're from your knees in that modified position or up on your toes, you're breathing underneath your shield, pulling the floor together. Now, with or without your knees down, let's descend to that mid-station hold. For 3, 2, and then can we hover just off the floor? And then press back out of that, holding that top position for another 3, 2, knees down. Should we stand up or stay down here?
We'll stand up.
So to stand up, we'll push the floor away. We'll tuck the toes, and let's go back to the slow ascent. First, low. Next, medium. Next, high medium. Then high high. And then control the down. The wrists are warmed up. The ankles are warmed up. And next,
it's hips with the bar, and then more push-ups with Lauren. Grab onto that balance aid or bar at your side, and with your feet in parallel, we'll start with our circling of the leg. Take a pointed foot with a super straight knee to the front, And then try to keep that pointed foot. We can change that if it's a little bit crampy, but from the hip, do the turn out, meaning kneecap away from your standing leg of support, and then do the turn in or kneecap trending towards the midline. Then repeat the turn out, kneecap away, then turn in, straight knee, rotating in, femur on the hip, and finish with a turn out. And then take it to the side, slightly ahead of truly laterally placed at the side. Let's maybe just change the foot to give the calf and foot a little break, so pull the foot to the shin, and then in the hip, do our turn in, that's hiding the inseam to face the ground, and then do our turn out, or that external rotation. Our hips are a level bowl of punch. We're gonna turn in on that hip again, and then we will be turning out again. Finish one more time turning in on that hip, then point the leg and bring it all the way underneath those hips, standing nice and tall. With that same leg, let's take a straight leg to the back, pointing the toe as we are allowed to. Now keep the hip forward and do a turn out of the hip as you take the leg from the back to the side, from the side to the front, and then push the hips forward. And we'll do another little balance here where we'll pull the ankle up onto that standing leg at that coup de pied position. Squeeze your butt cheek, hug the midline, and then land the toes back to the ground and push the hip through, finishing with the hip extension to be tall. Shake it out. Lauren and I will switch sides here and repeat the same thing. Stability on the standing leg, mobility on that leg that moves. Toe point forward, do the turn out. It's a straight knee, the kneecap faces away, and then do the turn in, keeping that standing hip pressing forward. On the leg out to the side, let's do that turn out, and then do our turn in. Like that ballet move, let's do the turn out and bring it around to the side next. Manipulate the ankle just to give the calf and foot a break, and then we'll be turning in on that hip. Keep the knees straight. Then do the turn out. Show that inseam forward. Squeeze your standing leg and turn in on that leg facing to the side. We'll do one last repetition of our turn out. And unlike the ballet, turn in on that hip, point through the foot, and then adductor, bring that leg right underneath center. Then same leg, take it to the back. It's straight on the knee and pointed on the toe. Turn out of the hip as it goes from the back to the side to the front. Push the hip forward to bring the leg underneath. Find that ankle coup de pied balance with the hand on the bar or without. Hug the midline, squeeze your glutes, return the toes to the floor. There's a lot of cues, and we'll finish with those hips pressing forward. Hips with me, push-ups with Lauren. Let's do it.
All right, so over the last 6 weeks, we've been building our strength through our pyramid-like schemes and our ladders and ups and downs. Today, what?
I like it. Upside downs, super
ups
technical.
And downs, yeah. I said. What? I realized I just said that on camera. Anyway, we will be going out to our push-up position and performing 5 push-ups, and the next set 5 push-ups, and the next set 10 push-ups. If any of those numbers are too many, you pick a number that's less than that and do them all well. So let's use our hinge. We'll walk ourselves out to that push-up position. Let's first get the tension that we need up here. So butts and abs, it's a full body workout as we pull ourselves down and press the floor away. Pull down, press away. On that pull down, think of engaging those lats, keeping the shoulders low. One last one, and then up. We'll lift the hips. We'll walk our hands back towards our feet. Unhinge ourselves, pressing to tall. Shake it out. How did the first 5 or so feel? Stay tuned for more.
Feels like 5 more. We'll keep things going here as Lauren addresses those light scenarios here. And with the feet in the parallel position again, let's just do our first knees over toes squat, and then extend the other leg out front. Then push that hip through, finishing tall, and return the leg underneath. Let's do the same thing on the other leg, where we'll go down onto 2 feet. Then we'll take the other leg and reach it out front as if a single leg squat. Stand up tall, pushing the hip through, and then bring the leg back. Let's repeat that idea, but now from that first position or a slightly turned out position on the hips. Let's go down on 2 feet. Transfer weight to the inside leg as you extend the other leg out front. And push the hip through, finishing tall. Repeat one more knee bend out there on a single leg. And then the leg comes back into first as you push the hip through. Same thing to the side. 2 foot knee bend, single foot out to the side, Stretch your standing leg, bend the standing leg, and then assemble those legs back together. Repeat to the back, down onto 2 feet. Reach a single leg to the back. Stand up nice and tall, pushing the hip through. Single leg knee bend out to the back, and the hip comes through, as does the foot. Let's just find that ankle balance yet again, that coup de pied, and this time, perhaps, find those demi points Lauren warmed up in the warm-up, where we find the balls of feet, we hold on to our balance, then one leg is super straight, the other has the knee pointing to your training partner, and then perhaps just find those 2 bases of support and slowly return to your first position. Shake it out, switch it around, and we'll repeat the same thing. Front, side, and back, down on 2, and then up on 1. Down onto 2 feet, single leg out front. Stretch the standing leg, bend the standing leg, and as you stretch this time, pull the leg back to first. Knee over toe, reach to the side. That leg stays straight, as does now that standing leg, and bend that standing leg, and return to that first position. And then repeat to the back. It's a 2-foot squat. A single leg reach, and the other single leg stretch. One more single leg bend, and pull those feet back together into first, and then pull up to the ankle, stay here on that flat foot, maintain the turnout, ribs over hips, squeezing bum cheeks, maintain your breath, and then perhaps find that demi point or balance raise. And then just quickly find those 2 points and control the down. Set number 2 on the bar, set number 2 on the push-ups.
Hips on fire, pecs on fire. Let's go back down to those push-ups. Again, it's the number 5 or thereabouts. Use your hinge. Walk yourself out. Establish that top position first. Lats engaged, chin tucked, hips up. Pull down, press to tall. Pull down, press to tall. Use that little help to engage your abs. Use that little help to squeeze your cheeks. This is number
5.
Good. Hips lift. Walk your hands back. Extended spine. Drive the hips through. Tally tall.
Tall, tall. Here we are again on the bar. Those sets come around quick, so let's keep it going. We'll have those feet in that first position. Check, check. From this position, we'll do our plie again. This time, reach the leg out front, land toe ball heel, and now push off that back leg to transfer weight to the front. Return that back leg to first, and now reach out the back, land toe ball heel, push forward to return the leg underneath. Repeating the same thing to the side. It's our 2-legged squat, a single leg reach. I'll push to the bar to move away and to close those feet together, and then point to the side, toe ball heel, point the other side, and then pull back together. To the back, knees over toes, single leg back, push forward, then assemble those legs together, and then tendu or reach that single leg forward, land toe ball heel, and return that trailing leg underneath. This time, let's do one more to the side. Knee bend over toe, reach to the side, push away, and close the feet together, and then point, land toe ball heel, point to your training partner, and pull together. This time for the balance, perhaps just stay at that ankle, or reach towards that passe position at the knee, and as the leg femur bone goes up, the hip goes down. Point the toes down, keep your breath, and then return to a nice tall position. Shake it, wiggle it out, and repeating the same thing on the other side. Front, side, back, and then one more repetition on the side. It's down onto 2, single leg front, toe ball heel, point the leg out the back, reach underneath, and then point to the back, land toe ball heel, point front, and return. It's to the side next, so we'll go out there, point one way and go the other, and then land toe ball heel, push away and assemble back at the bar, and then knees over toes, single leg back, push forward, hips through, return the leg back, and then leg front, toe ball heel, push out the back and return to first. And again, last time side, out to the side, toe ball heel, push and assemble together, and then reach, push away, return those heels together, start at that ankle, climb if available, and the knees to the side. The standing leg is straight, holding for time, ribs over hips, maintain that breathing, and then back to that strong first position. Third set, big set.
All right, this is our big set here. 5 plus 5 is 10, but it doesn't have to equal 10 if you don't want it to. So pick a number, try to push it a little bit, but remember that last rep stays strong and finishes stronger. So let's work ourselves out into that push-up position. Maybe you do all 10 from your toes. Maybe you choose to do a couple from your toes and finish the rest from your modified position. Both is appropriate. Here we go. Inhale, pull down, hup, press to tall. Hup, press to tall. Hup, 3, 4, 5. Head staying in line, hips are staying up. Don't get a saggy butt. Nobody wants that. 7? 8, don't make jokes. 9, last one. 10. Good. Hips lift. Walk yourself back. Push through. Great job. 10 push-ups.
10 push-ups. That's 3 sets. There's 3 sets more. We'll be pretty darn quick. So let's keep it going. Start with those feet in the first position. We've been to the ankle already. And this time as we get there, let's bend that standing leg knee. Then we'll stretch those knees together and end up pointing the other leg out front. Then return to that ankle position as you go low, and then this time straighten out to the side. Find the back of the ankle, and then stretch that leg to the back. Let's do that one more time as it reaches to the side. Then find your ball of foot. And this time come down onto that flat foot, and then find that balance out. And then find a flat foot. A nice version of a fondue here out to the side, and then back of the ankle, and then reach straight back. And for the final time, reach out to the side. Now stay on that demi-point or balls of feet and find that passe position. And with the hand on the bar, or flatten that foot if that's too intense, find a nice balance, hold for some time, maintain your breath, avoid the announcer's jinx, and find that first position back on the ground with control. Same thing, so fondues, front, side, back and side on a flat foot, and then that second set on that rise. The ankle bends and the knees bend together, then they straighten together out front. Point those toes and stretch, straighten those knees. Find the back ankle coup de pied and full stretch out the back as well. And then one more time to the side on the flat foot before we rise and then fall. Absorbing the landing and stretching, powering away. Absorb that landing, stretch and power up. The back ankle coup de pied for the final time and reach back. And then again, reach side, stay on that demi or those balls of feet. Find the passe position at the knee. The hip is low, the leg is high. Challenge yourself with or without those hands on the bar. The rib is over those hips. And just like Lauren did there, nice and controlled as we return.
All right, we're on set number 4, so we're dropping it back down to the number 5-ish. Here we go. This time, instead of hinging, let's use our forward fold. So a slightly narrower stance. Our blades are retracted behind us. We'll tuck our chin. We'll think about flexing through our vertebrae, keeping our shoulder blades together. So we're trying to round the spine. The blades might move, but try to move the spine first. Slowly flex and round forward. And then we'll walk ourselves out and establish that top position again. Here we go. It's a set of 5. Inhale, pull down. Hup, to tall. Hup, 2. Hands are still gripping the floor. Head is in line with hips. Last one. Then we'll lift the hips. We'll try to walk our hands back towards our feet, keeping our legs as straight as possible, tucking our chin, and slowly stacking ourselves all the way back. Up, head is last to land. Wow. Whew.
We've explored those passe positions, and now let's transition as we work on our attitudes in the front and in the back. So you could work from that parallel position with the feet, or you could turn out, and I'll be working from that turned out position. So pull up a single leg to the ankle, and it could stay there, or let's lift it higher towards passe. And then hold the leg out front, slight bend in the knee, the toes are pointing in line with your belly button, and then return to that passe position at the knee. Then out to the back, Same thing, we can get a nice little arm out front if we wished as well, and hold, and maybe a slightly straighter knee, and then return to that passe position. And before we do that again, shall we? Again?
Do what?
One more?
Oh, I have a bad attitude towards this,
I know, that's why I had to ask. So we'll do it. Not that she gave us permission, but making sure your body says that's okay. And hold for a second
longer. One thing I will say in this position is try to keep your weight shifted on that forefoot to not sit back in that heel.
Then passe, and then same thing, that forefoot, as if we could find that rise in a second longer. Back to the passe position, and then just finish down the leg, standing tall on 2 feet.
Those are so easy.
Yeah, simple, but probably not easy, and making sure it feels appropriate. The low ankle height could be a nice segue into the height of that attitude thereafter. So pull up, start the ankle, challenge ourselves at the knee, and point those toes and unfurl that leg and keep the toes pointing and the standing glute fully engaged and stretched at the knee. Then pull back to the passe. Try to keep that turnout. If it turns in, that's okay, at least anatomically, and hold for a couple seconds longer. And are you on the front of the foot? I find myself having to check that out, Lauren. Then return to the passe position.
Especially
then
right here.
Return that one,
Test it here.
because it helps balance if you go back. But stay forward. It's harder. Do the hard thing, not the easy thing. Back to passe one last time, and then out the back. Maintain the nice stretch, and then return to passe like it's easy. Return to the floor with the control. And then, of course, you can let it wiggle and shake out. Awesome.
Let's do some push-ups because they're easier than attitude holds.
And ultimate set.
All right, we're going back to the number 5. Let's do our forward fold back down. Chins tucked. Start flexing neck. Then start flexing upper back. That's so tricky. Round that cage as much as you can. And again, as we're holding ourselves here, try to shift that weight through the forefoot as you slowly roll and flex forward. Then you'll walk yourself out. Establish that high position. Head, shoulders, hips in line. If I put a dowel on your back, it'd be nice and straight. Pull yourself down up to tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hips lift. Try to keep those legs as straight as possible with that tailbone lightly tipped towards the ceiling as you walk your hands back into that folded position. Tuck your chin. Stack yourself up using your abs.
And take your time, or don't listen to the rules again, Ian, and just stack yourself up. But stay strict, and again, straight legs, and again, implement.
Maybe I won't listen to your attitude rules.
Oh, I know.
Anyway.
I know. We can all learn. We can all learn more. We've held our leg out front. We've held our leg at the side, the back. We haven't held it out to the side, so let's do that right now. Pull to the first position, and then pull up to the ankle. Let's stay down low for a second, and just point and hold on about that 45. Second longer, and then bend it back to the ankle. Climb as available, squeeze your butt cheek as allowed, and then reach that leg straight at the knee this time with that turned out position for a second longer, and then return it to the knee. Stay here, climb a little, always trying to make more room, or go back to the ankle if this is a too intense challenge for you or your quads here today, and hold for a second longer, and then pull back to the passe, ride the leg down, and finish nice and tall. Same thing, other side, 3 reps, because it's Lauren's favorite number. And it's just a nice number to kind of say, hey, how's this going? Wow, that's hard. And really work it for that last set as allowed. So pull up, we're at the ankle, stay there for the first one, and point. Reinforce that, again, the weight is on the front of that standing leg foot, and then return it underneath the hip. Pull up to passe or at the knee, and then straighten. Turn out so your inseam is facing forward and that knee is facing to the back, and then return it to the passe. Stay, climb, stretch that standing leg, stretch the other leg. Are you on the ball of the foot? I am now. And then back to passe, back to tall, and then wiggle it out, wiggle it out, wiggle it out.
All right, this is our final countdown. Season 4, episode 6, 10 push-ups. We've been working for this. Here we go. Let's do it. Up to 10. Again, you can do less, do them really well. It'll be great. Hinge or fold, don't do both, because then that would be a fringe. Or just a finge. Anyway, walk yourself out and we'll get into that high push-up position. And here we go, let's pump it out. Don't go too fast, don't go too slow, just be just right like Goldie. Here we go, pull down, up to tall, pull, up to tall, pull, up. 4, 5 more. 5, hips up. 4, chin tucked. 3, abs braced. 2, butt cheek squeezed. 1, last folder, hinge to tall. Use your muscles as you stand yourself up. Hair flip. Shake it out.
And there's one more move. And we'll get away from those bars. And it's that nice balanced weight transfer in the middle. Your go or my go?
You, please.
I'll go. Okay. So start again in that first position, but then open up to that second or a sumo stance. Let's pull ourselves a certain way so one leg bends and the other one stays nice and straight. And then transfer your weight that you might be able to lift that leg out to the side while all of your weight is on the flat foot. Then land toe ball heel and pull yourself across and then push, ensuring both hips are forward. And with a turned out leg, lift and hold for just a brief second there. Then land toe ball heel and we'll pull ourselves across again and then push. And this time we'll lift like you did and stretch that standing leg and hold. Bend that standing leg, grab the ground and pull and push, going the opposite direction, and then lift the leg as allowed and stretch the standing leg again. And there's one more flow here as we bend that standing leg one last time. Grab the floor, pull, push to the other side, stretch the standing leg, and then with the leg out to the side in second, could we again find that releve or balls of foot raise. Then the ball comes down, then we'll bend that knee, we'll pull ourselves across, push, stretch, and flow into a nice rise, our last rise of the day here, and hold. Push the hip one way, maybe lean the rib cage the other, and then land on a flat leg, bend the knee, pull yourself to a nice wide second position, hang out here for a couple seconds longer, and then push the hips through to stay tall. Push one way, go the other. Good job. 6 of 6. Bunch of push-ups today. Nice hips mobilities as well. Shift happens, summer happens. It did take us a little bit longer to get through those 6 sessions, but I know my body is grateful for this type of a practice to get mobile hips, strong cores, and to train. My favorite training partner, and you. So like, subscribe, share, and
watch.
Again, repeat.
On Saturday, we will finish again up our 4th semester class number 6 of our bodyweight practice, where we play with our strength, practice crawling, and working towards that ultimate handstand. Throughout the rest of August, we'll still be live at the usual times, unless we're out biking because it's too nice of a day.
Yep.
And we'll be doing some workouts through August, so kind of putting all our skills together and making it a little bit more challenging and flowful.
So grab a body weight, you have that. Grab a kettlebell or a dumbbell, some external load will do, and we look forward to training with you very soon. So it's Thursday, which means it's almost Friday, thank goodness. We want you to take care today, the next day, and as always, take care.
Stay strong.
And let's train soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And check out our Patreon.